You're not just talented. Really, you put your heart there with, we're praying for your daughter. Absolutely. Like, that's your daughter's my daughter. And I'd like her up there running around with her next time, like last time. And brothers and sisters, do you feel something? This is a dream come true. Really, can we give it up for God one more time? He made this possible. It was just last quarter I was up there on the stage saying we were in this room, and here we are. I'm still in disbelief, and hearing the choir up here, it's so right. Really, this is a whole family just around here and put in the center of Manhattan. Give me the most traffic. Let everyone know something is going on in here in the center. There's a conference going on. There's a Super Smash Brothers tournament happening right next door. Everyone needs to know God is alive. God is relevant. And, if you're coming from far away, just a few steps away, you got church going on with a beautiful community waiting for you. And that's us. So give yourselves a hand for standing here like time and time again. No matter what the obstacle, the oppositions that we've felt and experienced over the last several decades, we're still standing here, attending again and again, and God will redeem us. God wastes no time. Today we're going to talk about magnifying your ministry. And I guess I'm a bit surprised that I put out a request that was clear, and not everyone understood why. Why are we going to the New Yorker? Why is this so important? It didn't matter, because God showed it to me. And I just put out there, and here we are just a few months later. And it's just the beginning. I'm telling you, we don't have a lot of time. Our true mother we don't know how much longer she has. And I don't want to have anything left off the table. Everything's got to be on. Everyone's got to be up here like Monty just did. Put your whole family and everything that you're going through. God's not some distant place that you're trying to get to. No, God's there. He's with you in all those challenges and joys and everything. So my hope today, everyone leaves here with a clear idea that whether it's an existing mission that you have or a new one that you're stepping into, that you know that you will be equipped from the get-go in this 2023. Okay? So first, I want to give a shout-out to 2022 and everything that we did. We have communities from all over New York. So I'm just going to go through each of you, starting with the Bronx. Who's here from the Bronx? Reverend Galvan, the whole community, yes. Loving on each other, doing all kinds of family stuff in the center of Bronx. And, if we walk by, all the lights are lit, right? All the decorations. And you go in there, you're going to get food, you're going to get fed. So that's our Bronx community. All right, let's give it up for Brooklyn. The Brooklyn family, Bishop Joy. And can you believe it? Bishop Joy was installed this year, 2022. I can't believe it. How much has happened? What month was that, Bishop Joy? November? November, the year before, 2021. Okay, never mind that. Huh? 2020. 21, right? Okay, thank you. A lot's happened. And so much more than these photos can show. Let's give a shout out to Queens, the Queens family. Come on, woo! Yes. Reverend Dase, you were born this year, and how much has happened? So we're just getting started in Queens. Long Island in the house, where are you? Yes, there you are. We love you. Yes, back there. We love you. We love you. This is Reverend Corley mapping out the area. If you live in Long Island, you have one of these pamphlets. Over 75,000, bringing the word to your doorstep. Okay? There's no substitute for the word. And of course, I have to give a shout out to my community, Manhattan. Come on now. Yes, we love you. We're here, live, Midtown, Manhattan. Love you so much. When we talk about magnifying your ministry, your mission, it's about setting your priorities. Who here has a to-do list on your phone right now? Okay, like maybe an eighth of us. God bless you. I have a to-do. In fact, why don't you pull it out right now? I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to take a good look at it. And I want you to tell me how you feel when you look at that to-do list. Oh my gosh. Who else? How do you feel about your to-do list when you look at it right now? I just hear the children. They're busy up there. Well, sometimes I look at it and I do feel anxiety. I feel it's a lot of things that I want to do, or maybe I need to do. Some of these I do need to do, by the way. Like, I had to buy cake for Saika on Friday. That was like, right, Reverend Joshua, I had to get some, who's here heard of Lady M? Lady M, the little cake shop? Yeah, she loves that cake, and it's so expensive. And I had to, it was on my to-do list, and I had to get it. I want you to have a new relationship with your to-do list. And I want you to know when you look at it, this is God's work. Okay? But it has to start with God, that's all. So we're going to start this year with God, and your to-do list will be blessed and hopefully prioritized to serve God first and foremost. Let's read some our 3 milestones. And again, for those who are new, these are the milestones that I base everything in our ministry about. And I don't care how lofty or how amazing they are, but they're not going to change. So let's read them together. Number 1, everyone is prayed for by name every day. Number 2, everyone has a mission, which we'll get into today. And number 3, everyone is contributing to the blessing culture. Thank you. Let's do some scripture reading. First, we're reading from, here we go. Reading from Ephesians 2:10, if you have your Bibles. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. So many times we look at that to-do list and we feel like we're alone. I mean, who else knows about that to-do list? I mean, my wife doesn't know. She doesn't. So there isn't much compassion coming from that side. But God knows. And God is absolutely with you. If we ever think that we do anything without God, then we're cutting ourselves short and we're not allowing heaven to work and move. And again, not for our sake, because God has a bigger picture. When we talk about restoring a city, which needs restoration right now. I mean, when I come into this room, I don't think, I love the lights in the morning coming through the windows. I like the space. The kids feel free up here. But I'm here because I believe God will send the prepared people to this room. That this is location where the right people will show up and make a change. So it's not about me. I'm here because God believes this place is the right place. And God designed you to multiply. This is the year of the rabbit, right? Anyone here born in the year of the rabbit? Oh, yes. So I'm raising my hand too because I am born in the year of the rabbit. And so is my wife, Sayaka. So give us a hand. This is our year. Our year. So I'm going to make sure this is a good year. So I can just prove that rabbits are the best. Well, no, anyway, But what I like to think we're the year of the rabbits. Year of the rabbits. Plural. Because when you think of rabbits, you think of what? multiplication. Multiplication of goodness. Because rabbits are only good. There's only goodness from rabbits. We were at a petting farm, and me and the kids and Saika, and there was this little pen where these rabbits were. And these weren't just these little bunnies that you kind of see in people's homes. These are these like monstrous, are they called hares? What are they? But they're these huge bunnies. They look like little puppies just moving around, and there was tons of them. And there's probably out of control. There's no birth control there whatsoever. But they were kind of ugly. They're like huge, like monster bunnies. So that's what we're talking about today. We're not just going to multiply your mission or whatever God's calling you to multiply, but we're going to magnify it. Okay, we're going to magnify not the little bunnies, but these huge monster bunnies that are in your life that God wants to magnify and multiply. Next, we're going to read from Mother of Peace. Mother. The more difficult our situation, the more we have to remember our original dream. We face countless temptations, endless concerns, and unbounded desires. The only way to manage these is to have a strong will. And this means having clarity, clearly defined objectives. Clearly defined objectives. The distance between you and your dream, your goal, your mission, is just how clearly defined it is. Because once it's clear, that opens up the gates for heaven to work. If you're not clear, like, oh yeah, I want to go in the bank space, which is what we call this, by the way. This is called the bank space. I see Marcus back there. Let's give a big hand to Manhattan Center for allowing us to be in this room. Thank you, Marcus. I also see money too. So hopefully that fortune can bless us. But we need to know how much we want. We need to define how we set up this room. How do we use all these rooms? That's being clear and define your goal and your vision and how you get there. Who's ever heard of reverse engineering? Is that a term people are familiar with? Reverse engineering? Who's heard of that? Okay. So it's simple. You just make your dream, your vision, and you take the steps back. You reverse engineer it. How do you get to that point? We're at the point where we're just asking the question, how did we get here? Put your future in your past and make it a question. And God will show you how to do it. So thank you, Mother. And God, we know who here has ever felt like giving up? Like, you know what? It's like that annoying pop-up. It just keeps coming up in your face. It's like, come on. It's not worth it. Who even knows about it anyway? No one will even know if you let it go. But God doesn't forget. In fact, God invests in each of us. We have to consider it wasn't free for us to stand here. You think it was just by chance you're in this room now and you're receiving this blessing from God? No. There was thousands of years of preparation for each of us to be here today. So we have to acknowledge God's effort. And you think God designed you to serve. If you're here to sing, then you better be singing. If you're here to dance, then you can dance. Maybe you could dance up there, and that I don't know what to do with this glass room up here, but that'd be kind of weird. You have to know what your mission is, and whatever your mission is, it should be something that will remain forever, because God doesn't give you a mission or a blessing that will discontinue. It was always meant to grow. So from True Father, he said, if you use your body for your own sake, your work will not remain. But if you invest yourself for the sake of others, your deeds will remain. I have a saying that I always tell myself and others, I hate wasting time. Sometimes it sounds kind of cold, too. I'll tell people, I don't care about you. I don't care about me. I don't care about anyone but God. And it kind of comes off as kind of cold maybe at first. But if you love God and you really know what God's heart is, then that's the best equalizer. And it's the best investment of your time and effort. So, yeah, I don't want to waste my time. The difference between God and Satan is simple. Satan's dream doesn't last forever. It's great at first. You feel comfortable, maybe some pleasures, but it only lasts a certain period of time. Why? Because there's no place for Satan in God's kingdom. And so when we just focus on the things that God has given us, then we will be blessed. It may be hard at first. Be filled with temptation, but just hold on to that vision and dream and objectives, and you'll get there. And lastly, and I love this because this actually gets practical for me somehow. But True Father said about giving everything you have, even having given everything, feeling restricted by not being able to give more. Anyone have that feeling before? I'm sure every parent has that feeling. It's like, I wish I could give you more. My son, my daughter, I think of the movie Pursuit of Happiness. That movie with Will Smith. And he's like, he has his son and he wants to give him everything, but he has nothing. That's that point. That's like the God mode. If there is a person who has a mind that denies even the fact that he has disappeared, that they've literally given everything that they could possess, including their own self, when there's nothing left, that person belongs to God. I have a different take on this. Like I said, I see this practically. Who here has ever felt burnt out or felt like, I'm burning out or something? You're just inflamed. Okay, thank you. If you haven't felt that, then, try harder. Definitely sign up for our seminar and you'll find a way to feel the fire. But I do think there's a certain order to this. Sometimes we hear from True Father and it's like it's at the most advanced level, but we kind of need to take steps. So when you're a child, you put your parents first, okay? And you're growing. And so like the top, it goes to your parents and, you do the traditions and stuff like that. That 10% goes to the top. But all that 90% belongs to you. Time to play, time to grow, learn things. And so they don't burn out. When you get married, kind of jumping to the next step. When you get married, now you have to give half of yourself to your spouse. That's after you've already given to God your 10%, right? So you're kind of left with 60% or 40% now. Right? That's a big jump, and that's why we always struggle in our marriage, because your life isn't yours anymore. Really, half of your life is jung sung and devotion to your spouse, serving as your God in your face every day, all day, in the shower, in the bathroom. What are you doing? What are you doing? God looking around every corner. There's no secrets anymore. So you really do only have 40% of life left on your own, which I do take. By the way, I do take time for myself. Now, when you have kids, okay, here we go. So you have that 40. Now you've only got 20% left, because now the half of whatever you had is now for your kids, if not more. But don't give them too much. You do need to take care of yourself too. So now you're left with 20%. When you become a grandparent, some of us are there. You give them another half. And that goes to your kids and also your grandkids. Now you've only got 10% left for yourself. Okay? And you love it, right? Because there's nothing better than giving anyway, the gift of giving. And then when you go to spirit world, when you pass on to this world, you got zip. You got nothing left. You don't even have your body anymore. you're just a living soul, drifting in the laws of love, wherever that takes you. You become God. You become like God. So life is a journey to becoming less and less and less until there's nothing left. It sounds horrible to some people who don't understand spirituality and God, but for me, it's a natural design God made for us to become like Him. It was a natural process that you have no choice but to become nothing by the end. And so I want to help you get on that journey, to help you with that top 10% part. I'm not trying to take all of you. I want just that top 10% that goes to God and the ultimate providence of world salvation and nothing less. So I want to offer 3 different types of service to God. Number 1 is mission in the church. So who here is volunteering at church in some way, capacity? Yes, raise your hands high. Wow, not enough of you. I think this, and for those of you with their hands raised, is it good? Do you find joy with that? Yes. Right? You look forward to it? Okay. I didn't pay them to say that. Why? No, I don't need to. But look at these happy people, In fact, I remember most of the fun's happening like an hour or 2 before service starts. So it's true, right? So you don't want to miss that. Who needs sleep? I mean, try to sleep earlier so you can, not sacrifice it. But yeah, you have like hospitality team, food, tech team, choir, worship, and ushering. It's Reverend Joshua. That's how he ushers. He just jumps and leaps. Welcoming you in. Yeah. Best ushers in the world. The next I want to submit to you is mission out of the church. So outside. And this might be a calling. And I frankly, I hope that we can volunteer in each of these. But this might speak to you more. And this is our work serving Greater New York. There are some amazing people in this city. Amazing people. And I know God has a special plan for them. And if we can work together, it'll be the cherry on top for New York glory. So I'll just have some photos here. This is on the top left, that's me at a conference with Mayor Adams with all the faith leaders of New York. And he was up there preaching. He believes that ministers, faith leaders, we have responsibility. We're not just people, just some optional group of people in our community. We're needed. We have a function in society, and we're not doing it well enough. And so he's brought some people on, Pastor Bill Monroe's, Apostle Ramos in Manhattan. But the idea is that faith leaders need to be consistent in our service to the city and find a way where we can really connect the dots for everybody. And this is in the center, there's a turkey drive we did. That was a dangerous operation. It was life or death. You see those like 24-pounder turkeys, butterball? And that was a tiny little fridge, and that's not safe. Do not try that at home, because I had to prevent this from falling on this brother's head. So we do some dangerous work if you're into that. Community walks, and down here is this beautiful ACLC prayer breakfast we had at Sylvia Diners. Some of you were there, and I got hope for ACLC again, that we could put the prayer back into prayer breakfast. So what do? We prayed our hearts out. And from whatever background we came from, ministers praying together, God can really bless that. So, Jew. And the last one, which I realized was important, is the mission in the middle. The mission in between the mission inside the church and outside the church. Which is what? It's witnessing. It's divine principle education. We have Bishop Arma here who's like, can't stop talking about the divine principle. And I'm like, yes, I need photos of what you're doing, going around the different churches, letting people know the good news. There is an answer to your question through the divine principle. And so that's the work we're doing, getting a lot of young people involved, bringing in our new members, loving on them. showing them that God lives in communities like this. So if that speaks to you, then jump on board. So how are you going to be a part of this? Very simple. You sign up. This is it. This is the best chance I can give you to get equipped, to get trained in one or all of these different types of missions. And I promise you, you start this year right, God will bless your entire to-do list. Everything will make sense. Everything will flow. So I'm really asking that you can join 7 o'clock this Friday coming up. We're going to have this seminar to train you in each of these ministries. We'll have breakout rooms. You'll leave there feeling very confident, and we'll have all the borough pastors working together on this, and we're going to supercharge this year right. And I have one more announcement to make, and it's part of the reason why this seminar is happening, and that is I really do need your help. I think a lot of us have gotten used to a couple of people being on the core team. Reverend Joshua and Sarah Falconi. And you're probably wondering how in the world we're going to do things without them. And that's my announcement. It's sad. But we trust God. And so the announcement is this. Reverend Joshua, he has been requested to lead our Los Angeles community in L.A., not from here. Give him a big hand. This is an incredible appointment. So this is from... So Dr. Young was in L.A. and he saw hope. With a little more, with good leadership, our whole West Coast can light up. And I, without a doubt, know that Reverend Joshua and Takaya will do just that. And so, New York, we're more than happy to offer him for that mission. And I'm sure, I'd love, we love Reverend Joshua so much. And then Sarah. And again, these people aren't going too far away. We're going to see them one way or another. And Sarah, for a long time we've been discussing, what God's calling on her to do. And to kind of move forward in her life, family life. And it was funny, she wasn't even supposed to be here today. It's like her birthday weekend, and she's here. So I can't thank you enough, Sarah. So she will be moving on around the same time, Reverend Joshua, end of this month. Looking, for work, and again, God's calling her to take the next step in her life. And I'm going to try hard not to use her anymore for things, so she can really stretch her wings out and pursue her dreams. So, and in other words, I really do, yes, please give her a hand. Sarah Falconi. Running our communications, all those emails you're getting. That your lifeline to the Providence, that's Sarah right there. So we're not going to lose that. So Joshua back there, he's our new assistant pastor. We can wave to him. Hello, Reverend Joshua. Thank you. So I don't expect him to fill both of their shoes, okay? And the beautiful thing is when I brought this up to Sayaka, she immediately responded with, how can I help? Maybe I can help with food and hospitality and things like this. Because Sarah would do that on her own a lot of the time. That's why I need you to come to this. It's just 2 hours on Friday where you can help your pastor out here. But I know we're the community that God, you're here. You've been chosen. If you're sitting here, God's chosen you for a particular mission that will totally light up your life. So do not miss that. So to conclude, I simply stand up here wanting you to start your year right. And challenges will come, obstacles will come inevitably, but we can get a head start. So allow God to multiply the rabbits, the holy rabbits in your life. And let's do this. Let's make 2023 the one we never, ever forget. Thank you.